Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Lucas, and today we're going to be talking about the potential downfall of SEO and how search overall is changing, right? Going from keywords to actual conversations. So, for example, I would use something like ChatGPT to kind of ask him a question, right? So, for example, back when I was living in Germany a couple months ago, I would get these complicated letters in my mail from different institutions saying that I had to pay this, I had to owe this money to my insurance, whatever it was. And I didn't understand a single word that it said there. I just saw the numbers and I saw the dates, and I just wanted to kind of understand the context. And it'll be very hard for me to kind of use keywords to search for this, right? I'd imagine that I'd have to kind of go through different pages, and probably these different pages would be in German and not in English. So what I would do is I just take a picture of this and feed it into ChatGPT as an image, and ChatGPT can basically give me an answer like that. Another example is that I was watching TV the other day. I'm living in Florida, and the Florida Panthers hockey team is now in the semifinals of the hockey championship. It's not a sport that I really follow, but I was watching one game, and I went to a game and I found it really, really cool how intense it was. And basically I wanted to learn more about the sport. I wanted to learn more about who the players are, how many Canadian people are in this team, how many American people are in this team, who's the top scorer. So instead of searching all of that in Google, I can just start a conversation in something like ChatGPT and say, hey, for the Florida Panthers, how many Canadians are in the Florida Panthers team? What part of Canada are they from? Who are the top scorers? All in just one conversation, instead of just going through different tabs and reading different articles, right? And finding the answer there. So that kind of research changed, in terms of my research, it changed a lot in a way that I feel more comfortable just starting a conversation instead of just searching for specific keywords in Google. And a couple of days ago, I bought this Wacom tablet in Amazon, and those are like the only, examples of why I would still use Google search to search for keywords, is because I want to maybe compare pricing for a specific product. And the only way I really use this, for an example, in Google search is to search for keywords to actually compare prices. For example, just to see kind of their prices in their different websites like this, so I can go ahead and click on one of these call to actions and proceed to buy it. But Google just came out with this new AI mode that is basically gonna transform Google search drastically in the near future. Right now, this is a feature only available in the US, but if you're not in the US, you can try a VPN. But basically in AI mode, you don't want to use traditional keywords like you would use in Google. You would want to use some type of long form conversation, and maybe even come up with like fake words just so that it kind of understands you. AI is really good at that. And so, for example, you can do some type of long form sentence like this. What is the type of plant that I can buy that will grow pretty tall, around 5 feet, and only receive sunshine for half a day? I also don't want to have something to water every day. So you can be a little bit more specific. If it's just like with ChatGPT, you want to basically you want to start a conversation with it that eventually you'll dive deeper into once the conversation starts. So let's just go ahead and click on submit, and the results pop out very fast. If you're used to using something like Perplexity, you can kind of see that the results here come out really quickly. And right off the bat, you can see that we have a summary. So based on your criteria, growing to around 5 feet tall, receiving sunshine half a day, and not needing daily water, here are some plants to consider. So it gives us a few plants, right? This one, this one, this one, and this one. And then important considerations refers to about, so these are just like a summary of what we've meant. And one thing that you notice, I mean, we have this right column over here that basically shows us different sites that kind of match some of these keywords here, but we only have just one link in this important considerations section. So basically, if I were to click on these links, you'd see that the results would change over here. And basically, it just highlights the text that match these links. So it gave us these results with just one link. Instead of having a link for each, we'd have them over here. And then if we click on this, we'd have these three results with these three links over here. Now, if we were to compare this with the general Google search, the AI overview does actually do a pretty good job. We can see show more over here, and it suggests one of these to buy it, like this. It suggests one which is also, pretty helpful for the user. So just this one, Dracania marginata, could be a good choice. This plant can grow tall. So we can click on this, for example, and see a bit more of some sources related to this plant. But if we scroll down, we can kind of see 30 indoor plants that like direct sunlight. What can I grow with 2-3 hours of direct sun per day? So they're not very specific to what we need, right? We needed something that's has a little bit more sunlight per day, right? We said like half a day, and not really direct sunlight for the whole day. This is more of a general direct sunlight one. Drought tolerant, we didn't really mention this keyword. So these results aren't so direct. The AI overview does a pretty good job. And again, you can dive deeper into this AI mode by clicking down here or going back over here. And so again, if you were the user and you were to select this Dracania one, right, you can go ahead and search something like, if I were to select the Dracania, what type of pot can I put it in? Where can I buy it? So for a Dracania, you want to choose a pot that promotes good drainage and is appropriate for the plant size. Here's what to consider. So it basically gives you some good considerations. Consider at least 2 to 3 holes, ideally around 1/4 of an inch in diameter. Material, one of these. Pot size, 4 to 6 inches in diameter. So where to buy Dracania plants? So it gives us a good, suggestion for the pots on how big they have to be, their dimensions, and how often we have to change them. So all in all, it's not only just selecting something that you want to buy, but you're also doing research at the same time in the same conversation. So it's research and, decision making in one conversation, instead of having to go through different pages and trying to see, and some of these pages have ads, for example. You have it all in just one conversation. And then we have this where to buy Dracania plants, and you can basically click on this link over here, and we have a bunch of different links with these images of where to buy them. So you have, like, for example, Amazon, Home Depot, house plant shop. We can click on one of these, for example. It takes us to a new tab. And then we have Dracania plants and basically all of these different, suggestions on which one to get. Now we can even make the conversations longer, like saying, I want to travel from Miami to New York on train. I want to buy a cream that will help keep my skin hydrated while on board the long train ride. Also, when I get to New York, I would like to stay at a New York hotel that has some interesting historical story that I can share on Twitter. So we have, these different pieces of content that it's generating, right? So from the train journey and hydration. So Amtrak is like the only option basically that will take you from Miami to New York. We also have this hydrating creams for travel section. Long journeys in recirculated air can dry out your skins. Consider these options for hydration on board. So Aquaphor, CeraVe, Dermafix, travel size skincare kits. So if we click on this link, we can kind of see these different pages that they create, and we can see already the best dry skin care products for travel, hydration journey, comfort zone US, travel size kits and sets, skincare for every type of travel. And then if you click on one of these links, it takes you to, for example, a specific product like Pharmacy Honey Grail Oil, another super thick face oil that will leave your skin hydrated all day long. This one is especially helpful for those long haul flights that make your skin feel like Sahara Desert. So there's not even one for trains yet, but you can eventually make some content around that using AI for in your website that basically leads people to, buy your product. We have some different hotels that have some, have hosted famous figures, architectural significance. We can go a little bit deeper into these in the conversation. And sharing on Twitter, when you find a hotel that piques your interest, a quick search about it, its history can reveal. So basically we can go a little bit deeper into these two topics once we, if we really want to do it. And then, you can go ahead and say, give me a list of 5 hotels I can book and why they are interesting. It has to have some type of funny story. So for example, this one was a good one. Jane Hotel, once a haven for Titanic survivors and sailors. The Jane Hotel has a distinct ship-like aesthetic. So why is it a funny story potential? The hotel's unique cabins and decor resembling an old luxury liner could lead to comical situations like guests mistaking hallways for ship decks. So it gives us some good ideas on what types of hotels to stay in, and that can eventually lead to good can lead to good content if you want to post this on your social media. But the moral of the story with Google AI mode is that I think that this is going to be, the standard of searching, and that's kind of what Google said as well. Google also previewed in their latest presentation that you can also, use this AI mode, and different AI agents are going to go search and eventually buy products for you. So yes, I do think that traditional SEO is going down, but you have to adapt to these new methods of search, and you can already start understanding how it works, right? Now let's say that you're one of these cream companies, right? Like say Sunday Riley. And if we go to their website, we can go ahead and select their URL, bring it into Ahrefs and kind of understand their different keywords. So going over here, and we have some branded keywords, but Good Genes is also branded. But we do have some questions, some keywords like this: how to use niacinamide serum, white waxy buildup on scalp, vitamin C creams, and this gets a bunch of traffic, for example, and ranks pretty easy, right? So getting these keywords and creating these different questions. So these are questions that get asked pretty, frequently, and also kind of target that to the questions that people would ask in Google AI mode. So that means creating content in your website that matches these questions, right? So if you want to create something like hydration, something that is hydrating for skin, you want to answer questions to different problems that people are facing. People can be traveling in the train. People can be traveling long haul trips on an airplane. People can be doing home office or working from the office and want to have hydrated skin. So it's best to kind of get that main keyword, which is skin hydration, and kind of create content for all of these different situations that can be potentially asked in an AI chat, like Google's AI mode. A great tool to use to create content like this easily with AI. Basically, AI creates the whole content for you. Of course, you can use something like ChatGPT, but this tool is basically tailored for SEO content creation. It knows the best on how to create titles, how to create additional keywords based on your main keyword, how to create a FAQ for this specific post or page, that will lead to even more traffic. You can start off by clicking here to SEO article. You can write like skin hydration cream, for example, and add the keyword. And then what you can do is you can generate a title with the specific focus keyword. Get your glow on hydration cream edition. You can generate different keywords based on this focus keyword. You can write something like skin hydration cream for long flights, and then generate a new title based on that. So fly high, stay hydrated, your longest flight skin saver. Generate some new keywords. So we have like in-flight skincare routine, dry skin travel tips, hydrating cream for air travel, airplane beauty essentials, and so on and so forth. The AI can generate an outline for your specific post, like why your skin suffers long haul flights, what makes a great hydration cream for travel, top picks, best skin hydration creams for long flights. And this is where you can basically add your products or your specific hydration cream. You can target the specific target country that you have. In this case, we can keep it United States. We can keep this, for example, like funny, have a first person plural, some type of informal formality. We can add a knowledge base in case you want to add your own website as a knowledge base, or for external websites, we can keep this on so that Google can generate up-to-date content on different external linkings inside of your blog post. For the structure over here, you can add your call to action, which would basically be some type of product that you want to add as a call to action over here. You can add your sitemap for internal linking. So if you're sundayriley.com, you can go over here and click on find sitemap, add your URL, click on find, and then basically what you can do is you can limit the content to be only products or only about the different blog posts that are in your website, or you can take this away to kind of have it unlimited to all of the pages in your website. And you'd want to keep this very high. So per every H2, there's going to be around 6 internal links. External links, we can add external links that you'd want to add. Maybe you have some type of partner out there, and you can exclude external sources, for example, from competitors that you don't want the AI to kind of link to your competitors. You can add images of your products. You can add YouTube videos if you have YouTube videos. And so this is quite an advanced tool for this, right? And then once that's ready, we have this fly high, stay hydrated blog post published to basically answer all of these different keywords that relate to keeping skin hydrated while flying, right? You can do the same thing with working from home, from train rides and bus rides and all of that. But basically, this is a great tool to kind of pump out content like that. So You can, for example, replace this with your product's image. You can use these AI images to kind of show, you can see the passport, you can see that this is an airplane and she has some cream on her face, but you can eventually replace that with your own images. And at the end, we get some nice FAQs over here, down over here, to kind of reinforce these keywords and bring more traffic into our site. Again, once we're done with this, you can publish this directly to your website, or you can basically copy the content and put this on your website manually, however you like. But yeah, basically the whole logic of this is that you have a type of cream, right? Let's make it, this is your product, and it stands for, hydration, right? Hydration. And what you want to do as a company that sells cream for hydration, you want to think of all of these different situations that people would want to buy hydrating cream for, right? It starts with dry skin. Why would people get dry skin? Okay, they're probably flying on an airplane far away and they get some dry skin, or they're working from home in their computer, right? And they get some bad AC, or a bad type of air solution inside of their home. Same thing with an office, for example. They work at an office in a cubicle and they also get some bad air. We also have like a train. Sorry, my drawing is not so good. We have like a train, we have a bus, for example, long road bus that might be causing this dry skin, and you're feeling it, or your users feeling it, your customers feeling it, and you kind of understand all of these different situations, right? And you want to kind of research on all of these different potential situations and kind of create content out of it. So for each one, you want to have a page, right, with content and basically addressing all of the different potential questions in regards to each situation, right? So that the AI at the end of the day can basically analyze your website and basically have that inside of the chat, right? So basically over here, so AI chat. What's also important to keep in mind is that the potential customers or the users that are searching for these things will have different questions, right? They're going to have question number one, which is going to be this. Then you have to think of potential follow-up questions, right? So there's going to be potential follow-up questions for question two, right? It can be either this, or this, right? For question two. And again, eventually different follow-up questions for these different question two potential questions, right? So you want to think about creating content for all of this, and creating content as a creator, as you can see, if you're actually writing all of this content, is going to be a pain in the butt. But if you're using a tool that uses some sort of AI, this can be basically created in literally minutes, right, and pushed directly to your website as a form of informational hub, right, for a specific topic. And with a tool like Arval, right, you can directly start creating content like this, and it suggests all of these different possibilities that you might want to add, right? Because at the end of the day, if we go back to our Google AI mode, right, we start with a question, we do research, we see potential answers, but then we want to keep on diving deep, right? So that's why we want to kind of have this type of all of these answers available from our brand, with great keywords, so that the AI kind of understands what we're doing, understands our product, and understands the answers to the questions that they're getting. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it from today's video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any particular questions. Also, if you want to learn more about SEO, you can watch more of the videos down in the description below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.